friends, welcome back to Stappystamper. My name is Terry Stapp and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Central Texas. Today we start a brand new series focusing on more crafts than cards. So these are going to be Halloween crafts for gift giving. Perhaps you participate in something called Boo Buddies, where you give a little gift, you draw names, and that's your Boo Buddy, and you give a little gift each day for the 5 days up to and including Halloween. So I kind of wanted to focus the next 5 videos over some more crafty things versus cards. Today, we are going to be making this awesome box. Beautiful little box. I love tulle, so I tied the top with tulle. Let me move this part out of the way. Okay, so you have your box. You open it up. You take the lid off, and then there's room inside here for the candy. So you could definitely load this up with candy. Put the lid on it, put the ribbon around it. Your recipient opens it up and the candy is there. I also made this one into a gift card holder. I've done this, for example, for graduation, obviously not Halloween paper. But like I'll find out if they're going to college, what their school colors are going to be, or what their high school colors were. And I will make the box to go along with whatever school colors would work. And then I'll put like a $25 Chick-fil-A card, a $25 Subway card, whatever. And then that way, when they go off to college, they have some gift cards and they won't starve to death. So I wanted to show you this today, and this is what we're going to be making. Now, the paper is not current. It is from my stash of paper that I'm trying to use up, but the stamp set is current. So move that out of the way. This is the stamp set we're working with today. It is called Sweet Halloween. You can see it says the Boo Crew. That's real cute for Boo Buddies. The Boo Crew, here for the candy. Bewitched, too cute to spook. You have some candy corns. This is one stamp set that does all 3, and then you have a single stamp there. You have some bats, a crow or a raven. A really cute stamp set. This is not in the catalog. It's not in the annual catalog, and it's not in the September to December catalog. You're going to find this in the online exclusives. This is actually a stamp set, I believe, that goes with the scrapbooking supplies. It has a stamp here that you can stamp and use it for some journaling. So I'll put up some screenshots of the website and how to get to this stamp set if you're interested in it. I'll put up some screenshots so you can see how to get to the online exclusives. Let's get our materials. So I'm going to go over all of the materials we're going to use, and then I'm going to pause and I'm going to pop up a slide that has all of the materials typed out. So then you can pause the video and you can go gather all of your materials if you want to craft along with me. You will have time and an opportunity to gather your supplies, and then you can push play and we can work on this together. All right, so the materials you're going to need today I'm going to pull this out. Okay. So one of the things that's a little bit different is you are going to want some 12 by 12 cardstock. Stampin' Up! Has 12 by 12 cardstock. I used black. So you're going to want your piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and I know this doesn't look like 12 by 12, so let me explain what's going on. You are going to take your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you're going to score it at 1.5 and 4 on each side, and then you're going to remove the corners. Okay, so let me open this up. I didn't remove this corner yet. Okay, we're going to do this together when it's time to put it together. But you can see how the 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock would fit in here. Okay, it's 12 by 12 piece. Score at 1.5 and 4 on each side. And then we're going to remove the 4 corners. Okay, for basic black, you're also going to need, this is the lid for the box. So this is a piece of 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. You're going to want to score that at 1 inch on each side. And then on one of the corners, so each of the corners on one of the sides, you're going to want to just snip on the score line. Okay, don't snip on both because then you'll take the corner off. We want that corner there on this piece for the lid to hold together. So just on one side, you're going to go snip, and then you're going to snip there and snip there and snip there. Okay, now I used my matte color. I used basic gray for my matte color. You're going to want a piece of 4 by 4 in basic gray. You're going to want four pieces of basic gray that are 7/8 by 4. You are going to want another piece of basic gray that is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. You're going to want 4 more pieces of basic gray that are cut at 1 3/8 by 3 7/8. And finally, you're going to want 4 more pieces of basic gray that are cut at 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, that's all the basic gray. Now for the basic color, the white or the vanilla that we use. I have one that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I'll explain that in a minute. You don't necessarily need this, and I'll explain what's happening. But for me, I do have a 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and this is where I have my sentiment and then my little candy corn decoration. For designer series paper, you're going to want a piece of designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'll leave that there. You're going to want 4 pieces of one of the patterns that is 3/4 by 3 7/8. You're going to want another set of 4 in perhaps a different pattern, a coordinating pattern, that is 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to want another set of 4 that is coordinating paper that is cut at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And you're going to want 4 of those. All right, those are the materials. Then I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to pop up the supply list for you. If you want to craft along, go ahead and pause the video when you see the supply list. Gather your supplies, and I'll meet you right back here in just a minute. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get started putting our box together. So, like I said, this started out as a 12 by 12 sheet. You can see right down here that I haven't cut the corner out. I took my 12 by 12 sheet and I scored at 1.5 and 4. And I turned it and scored at 1.5 and 4. And I turned it and scored at 1.5 by 4. And I turned it and scored it at 1.5 by 4. Now, just so you don't watch me cut all of the stuff, I did go ahead and I cut out 3 of the 4 corners, but I left this one so you could see what I was doing. So I have a score line. That's my 4-inch score line here and my 4-inch score line here. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut this square off. Okay, once you've removed all of yours, what you should be left with kind of looks like a plus sign, an addition sign. Okay, go ahead and use your bone folder, burnish those edges really well so that you get a good fold. Now, in the example that I showed you at the beginning, I made it into a gift card holder. This one I don't want to make into a gift card holder. I'm just going to decorate it up and then fold my flaps down. Okay, so you're going to take, and I already put several of the pieces together. Once again, since we have 4 of each, I didn't want you to have to watch me glue everything together. So you're going to need the 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And you're going to need your gray piece that I have currently can't find. Okay, I found it. It was hiding under another piece of paper. So pull your designer series paper, the 4 pieces that are cut at 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then pull your matte color, mine is basic gray, pull that. These are the ones that are cut at 1 3/8 by 3 7/8, and you have 4 of them, okay? Take the sticky notes off of those, and let's glue these 2 together. Why did I do it that way? I did it backwards, but it's going to work out just fine. Okay, this is going to go right here, and each side is going to get 1. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and then get these glued down, and then I'll meet you right back here in just a second. Okay, I have mine glued down. How about you? I hope you are all done. Now, here's the part where if you wanted to make yours a gift card holder, like the one that I showed you as my example, what you're going to do is you're going to find a circle punch. I just pulled the 1 1/4. It doesn't really matter. You're going to line up the circle punch so that you have just a little bit. We just kind of want to cut out a little half moon or a little semicircle there, okay? Get it centered on the left and the right, and then you're going to punch that out. I don't want to make mine a gift card holder this time. I just want to have the sides that are cute that look like this. Okay, so instead of doing that is the other part I need to tell you about the gift card holder. If you make the gift card holder, you're going to do your punch. And then I took some tear and tape. You might use your green glue. That would work too. And just do a thin line of glue on either side. Don't do it all the way across because then you can't get your gift card down in there. Okay? I used tear and tape and put it up as close to the side as I could, and then folded it over, but left the middle part without any adhesive. I don't want that glued down, okay? That's if you're going to make a gift card holder. I'm not going to do that this time, so I'm just going to take my glue and glue these sides down. Just like that, okay? I'm going to pause it one more time. I'm going to get my other 3 sides glued down, my other 3 flaps glued down, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, mine is done. How about yours? Should look something like this. Unless you made the gift card holder, then you have your little semicircle cut out, and then just the very edges glued down with the middle part open so you can fit in a gift card. Mine isn't. Like I can't stick anything down in there because I glued it all down. Okay, we are almost done with the inside of our card. What you're going to want to find now is your piece of your basic color, your vanilla or your white. This is very vanilla. It is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I added my sentiment and a little decoration with the candy pieces. Then I have my piece of basic gray, my matte color. That is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and we are going to join those two together. Just like this. And then this piece is going to get placed, adhered, right here in the center of our box. This is the bottom of the box. Here for the candy. Yes, ma'am. Could use some Reese's peanut butter cups right now. Okay, that's the inside of the box. Now we need to decorate the outside of the box. So this is where you're going to use your gray pieces that are cut at 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. You have 4 of those. And then you have some coordinating designer series paper that is cut at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. You have 4 of those. Okay, these pieces are going to get glued down together. I pre-glued 3 of mine. I'm going to glue these 2 together, and then I'm going to pop these on with some adhesive around the outside of my box. You don't need to watch me do that. That's a lot of gluing. So I'm going to pause the video, get my parts done, and I'll see you right back here in just a minute. All right, welcome back. I am done. I have my pieces glued here on the outside of my box. And then on the inside of my box, I have the bottom of the box glued in, and then I have the decorations on each of the sides. Okay, now your box would fold up just like this. we need to make the lid so that it will hold the box together. So let's get the lid pieces. All right, for the lid, the base of your lid is this piece of cardstock that is cut at 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. Scored at 1 inch, turn, score at 1 inch, turn, score at 1 inch, turn, score at 1 inch. And then for each side, so you have these little squares that are left on each side. So here's one, I'm going to go cut, and for this square, I'm going to go cut, and then I cut right there, and I cut right there. Okay, don't cut them both because you'll cut it off. Just cut one side. Okay, get that, and then I'm going to use my bone folder again. And get these all burnished really well so they fold nicely. Okay, let's go ahead and put the lid together. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the sides together. So get your 4 pieces. Once again, you have mine is basic gray. This is your matte color, 7/8 by 4. You need 4 of those. And then you have a coordinating piece of designer series paper, 4 of those that are cut at 3/4 by 3 7/8. So this is the top of my box lid. It's going to fold like that. Okay. The outside of that is where I want to put my strips like these. Now I have 3 of them already made, so I'm going to glue there. Don't glue over the squares here at the corner. Glue here, glue here, glue here, and then I'm going to put these 2 together. Glue these and put it right here. Okay, once again, I'm going to pause it, give you some work time, give me some work time, and I'll see you here in just a bit. All right, mine is done. I hope yours looks something like mine with the sides of the lid that now have your matte piece and your designer series paper on there. Okay, we're going to do the top next. So this is where I said I would explain. I was using this designer series paper. If you look at my example lid, okay, you can see there's not any very vanilla underneath it. This was the last bit of paper that I had, and it is 1/8 of an inch too short for what I wanted. Now I could have done this. This is my piece of matte color that is 4 by 4, and I could have done that and left a little bit bigger of a border, but I really like the way this looked. So I took a piece of the Very Vanilla, 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So once again, let me go through that. I was explaining, I want to make sure you have the measurements. The matte color was 4 by 4. Then I have a piece of Very Vanilla that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And a piece of designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay. My designer series paper was too short, too small, and I didn't have another piece. This was it. I could have done that, but I really liked the way it looked. I think it made it pop really nicely when I did that. Okay, so that's what I went with. Now, I'm going to glue all of those together, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, how'd you do? Did you put your pieces together and then glue it in the center so that your top of your lid is decorated, doesn't fall off? Excellent. Glad to hear it. Okay. Last bit about our lid. Obviously, the lid won't work like this. So we have our stuff here. We can't just lay the lid on top of it like that. That won't work. We're going to have to actually give it a little bit more dimension. So, do you remember these slits that we cut? That is how we're going to glue the parts of the lid together. Okay, around the corner just like that. So let's pick a corner. I'm using my green glue this time. Means I have to hold it just a little bit. Okay. A little bit of glue. Did you see that? I glue, and then that gets folded and folded in. And it glues to the back side of that edge. Okay. Make sure this one's on the inside just to make it easier later. All right, this is going to get some glue. And last one, right down in here, is going to get some glue. Pinch it together just a little bit. All right, now you have a lid. So here's how your box works. You're going to take you take your sides of your box. You're going to go ahead and fold it up like that. Put your candy in here. Put whatever you're putting in. If you did the gift cards, put the gift cards in. You could do gift cards and candy. This would make a great teacher gift, by the way. If you're a grandma or a mom or aunt, whoever, you have somebody that you know that has a teacher. I was a teacher, so let me tell you, teachers love stuff like this. You do some gift cards and do like just a $5 Starbucks and a $5 Chick-fil-A and a $5 Target and just something like that. Fill it up with maybe a little bit of candy. Your teacher probably filled out like a favorites list at the beginning of the year. The campus may have it, or it may have been given out to teachers if the homeroom mom gave it out to people. You may know your child's teacher, their favorite candy. So get that candy, do the gift cards, put the candy in here, and then you're just going to slip the lid on just like that. Now, that's a cute box, but I like to use tulle, so I just brought some tulle out of my stash. Just picked it up at Hobby Lobby. This is black tulle, and I'm going to tie a little bow with all of my goodies. Well, I thought I was going to tie a bow. Let me try again to tie a bow. With all of my goodies, spread it out a little bit, trim your ends off, and you have a perfect little gift. If you have a Boo Buddy, perfect. This might be a good Friday gift. I think Halloween's on Friday this year. Might be something to end the week with if you're going to put some gift cards in there. But the perfect little gift for a teacher, a Boo Buddy, an office mate, a neighbor. I guarantee you that they will love it. All right, stay tuned. Next Wednesday, I believe, is September 24th. We'll do another craft little thing like this to get you ready for Halloween and all that candy and gift giving that you might be doing then. Until then, happy stamping.